A major shakeup in the recall race to face Governor Scott Walker.
About 90 minutes ago, Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett says he's in. It is breaking now. Our political reporter Jessica Arp has more on the developments.
Well, Mayor Barrett has been the question mark in this race since the recall petitions were turned in, and tonight he has made it official with an email announcing that he is in. Barrett had been running to retain his seat as mayor of Milwaukee, and just 4 days before that election, he says he will enter the field for governor. This will be the third time Barrett will make a run for governor. Barrett lost in the 2002 primary to Governor Jim Doyle, then lost the general election against Governor Walker in 2010. So far, former Dane County Executive Kathleen Falk, State Senator Kathleen Vinehout, and Secretary of State Doug LaFollette are the folks who are in so far. Now,
Kathleen Falk was considered the Democratic frontrunner. How does this change everything in the race?
Well, so far polling has actually showed Barrett polling ahead of Falk, but the Marquette poll earlier this week showed Barrett with a 2-point advantage earlier this week, and that was before he was actually running. It's also going to be interesting to watch the union dynamics here. A number of public employee unions have actually endorsed Falk already and actually encouraged Barrett not to run. In a statement, Falk did say tonight that she welcomed Barrett to the race.
Are we getting any reaction out of the governor's office tonight?
Well, the governor's campaign actually released a statement as well. They say that given the, quote, downward spiral of Milwaukee's economy, they find it shocking that he would even run for governor. The campaign even released a web video labeling him Tom the Taxer. Already this setting up to be an interesting race.
All right, Jess, we'll have more from you in a moment, but first we'll have more on this historic recall. For the first time ever, officially now, a sitting Wisconsin governor will face a recall election.
That's right. The Government Accountability Board is certifying elections against Governor Scott Walker and 5 other Republicans. News 3's Theo Keefe has team coverage of the decision and what's next.
Board staff is recommending that the board find the petition to be sufficient.
The GAB deciding to accept that recommendation, saying there was virtually no fraud in the Democrats' efforts.
Today is a historic day in the state of Wisconsin. We've never recalled a sitting governor before, but I also think it's a very serious day. This is not something that we ever wanted. And frankly, it's not something we sought.
Now elections are certain against the lieutenant governor, 4 Republican state senators, and Governor Walker.
We said 5-6 months ago we thought there'd be a recall. I mean, when the national big government unions gave focus and put money and bodies in the state, we knew they were going to have the resources to force a recall.
It's the end of the second part of this process. Collecting the signatures, done. Verifying them, also done.
I'm satisfied that we did our job and that the result accurately reflects what the petition was. The outcome is a political issue that, will get settled, in the May 8th and June 5th elections.
Friday's decision was about the process. Now it's back to politics. The campaign is on. In Madison, Theo Keefe, WISC News 3.
Republicans said late today that they will run fake Democrats to force primaries in all of the races. And now back to what started it all, the collective bargaining bill, Act 10. Parts of that legislation were thrown out today.
The decision out of a Western Wisconsin District Federal Court calls parts of the law unconstitutional. News 3's Jessica Arp is back now to explain which parts and what this all means, Jess.
Well, the 2 parts that were struck down are requiring unions to hold annual certification votes and prohibiting automatic dues deductions, but the rest of the collective bargaining law was upheld. In the decision, Judge William Conley says that a piecemeal approach of excluding public safety workers from the collective bargaining law is not a constitutional violation. But, he says, as long as public safety unions are allowed ordinary certification and dues deductions, he found no rational basis to deny those rights to general unions. The judge also mentioned numerous times the possibility of political favoritism because some public safety unions supported the governor, saying whether or not the prohibition on dues deductions for some but not all unions was an intentional act to suppress speech, it has that appearance.
The court ruling shows that Act 10 was never about balancing the state's budget, as Governor Walker claimed. It was a mean-spirited attack designed to attack unions and the workers who belong to them.
That was WEAC President Mary Bell there. For WEAC and other unions, this ruling means increased funding for their operations. WEAC estimated in their court briefs that they would lose $375,000 in revenue because of loss of dues contribution. Those union dues deductions will now go back into effect by May 31st. That's, of course, pending any appeal. Governor Walker's office did not respond to our request for comment on the judge's ruling tonight.
And of course, a lot to digest here. We've got all of it. All the details are available online. Jess, thank you very much.